a production of the A&A Media Group and Consider It Done Productions. Award-winning, aging, and awesome. Here are your hosts, Kai Sisson and Aaron Breen.
Welcome to Aging and Awesome. Welcome to the beautiful Senior Care Plus practice on Del Monte Lane. And welcome to 2022.
That is right. We've entered a brand new year. But don't you worry, we still have the same commitment to you to inform, enlighten, and inspire you as we all march through time.
Tonight, we'll take a look at some new approaches to the new year. We'll talk with Dr. Tammy Nuggebauer from TMJ and Sleep Therapy Center of Reno about a common development with age, and that's TMJ, the signs and symptoms, and most importantly, the treatment options. And did you know there are advantages to a reverse mortgage at the age of now 55? Expert Tom Mcdonald with Mutual of Omaha will be here to explain, plus a ride in my cab.
But first, we put a focus on business in Reno, past and future. Many of the local businesses that we have all known for years are making some pretty big changes for the future.
Here's a couple. Jones West Ford, Sierra Air, Heritage Bank of Nevada were all family-run businesses that have recently changed hands.
Well, the Great Basin Brewery has recently changed hands as well. And the new owner is a local too. And he is excited about the future, but is just as excited to build on the wisdom of the original owners, Tom and Vonda Young.
That's right. And tonight we take a look at what makes for a good transition when moving a business from one generation to another. Have a look.
The Great Basin Brewery began production 28 years ago. Fueled by the dreams and energy of Tom and Vonda Young, they named their first brewmaster special the Ichthyosaur. We all know it as the Icky.
I was attending bar one time and this young lady comes up and says, "Excuse me, sir, could you please give me an itchy?" I go, "Ooh, no." No. So we had to change the name and shorten it for those who are paleontologically challenged to Icky.
You see, before Tom helped change the brewing laws in this state and began the Great Basin Brewery, he had another career.
I was a geologist for many, many years. We loved that job.
And like the ichthyosaurs that used to roam the Great Basin, the Great Basin Brewery has grown and grown and grown. But
You get to a certain age and you think it's probably a good idea to move on or pass the reins off.
he couldn't trust the future of his dream to just anyone, because the Great Basin Brewery is far more than just a brewery.
We had a better chance with somebody who's local and really understood our community and might carry on our community interests in beer.
Enter Mark Estey and the local food group.
We saw how our businesses aligned, the cultures aligned, and now you have, craft beer and local food really merging together. So it gives us a little bit of a leg up, if you will, because we can add a little something to our beers, add a little something to our food, now that both of those have merged together. So by bringing them together, if we keep that same culture, learning, caring, respect, passing information from generation to generation to generation, that really becomes the key.
And the local food group respects the foundation that has been laid as it plans for the future.
We have learned so much from Tom and Vonda, from how best to run a restaurant group, how best to run a brewery. So we retain them to help us as consultants, as founders. Tom's goal is in 20 years to come back in here, hoist a pint of Icky, have it taste exactly the same. It'd be absolutely amazing, and have the restaurant group be even bigger and more beer being sold.
It has been an adjustment for Tom.
It's always a little hard. I love Great Basin. I still love what I do. Yes, it is hard sometimes too. I went to the office the other day and I looked around and I go, wait a minute. The wastebasket goes over there, not over here. And, you got to get over the little things. But the big things are that the beer is going to stay true to the whole aspect. We're going to brew exciting, aggressive, fun beers that reflect the pioneering spirit of our region.
You see, he has set forth his rules.
Well, first of all, I don't want them to screw up the Icky recipe. And that's It's really important to me. I just can't let that happen.
Mark heard that loud and clear.
Whatever you do, don't screw up the icky.
So they're building on knowledge and wisdom.
Absolutely. Right from the get-go, we knew taking what Tom and Bonda have started and worked on for 28 years, and then adding the things that we do to it, but giving them the nod of understanding what they've taught us and we've learned from them. Why break something apart to realize that it wasn't broken at the beginning? It's been an honor and it's a privilege to be able to carry on Great Basin. We really want to pay homage and honor Tom and Bonda for all the work they've done. And we have a 30th year anniversary coming up here pretty soon. We just really want to honor them and keep this brand going for the next 30 years.
Even more important than the icky is to Tom are the people, the staff, and the community he's touched. He calls his past employees Basin Buddies, and he says many who came to work for a summer stayed for years.
All the past staff members that have worked for Great Basin, we hope we've touched their lives in a positive way, and it's been fun. But it's been so much fun to be a part of lots of people's lives, and to me, that's a gift that you're always going to be forever thankful for.
And we'll be thankful for the icky.
There's even more to this story. You're not going to believe how Tom Young's other hobby, which is being a geologist, has played a role in this new endeavor.
And you know what? We're going to tell you all about that part of the deal next week on Aging and Awesome.
Still to come, TMJ. We'll find out how to recognize it and how to treat it and maybe even avoid it a little later on. And why you might want to consider a reverse mortgage as young as 55 years old now. Plus later, a spin in my cab. But first, we reconvene with Aaron Breen, who has a plot twist for us. That's in 90 seconds.
Thinking about moving or downsizing? You should meet my good friend Marsha Rambo with Realty One Group Eminence. With over 35 years experience and specializing in helping older people. If you're looking for a home that better fits your lifestyle, Marsha is the right person for you.
Thanks, Joe. I'm Marcia Rambo, and I'm a realtor. I'll help you find the right home at any stage of your life. Whether you're considering selling your home or making a purchase, give me a call at 775-395-9133. Together, we'll make a plan that will best work for you.
Call Marsha today and tell her I sent you.
Hello, I'm Dr. Tammy from the TMJ and Sleep Therapy Center of Reno. There are so many issues you might be experiencing, from jaw pain and headaches to snoring, sleepiness, and difficulty concentrating. We are the only TMJ specialists in Northern Nevada providing comprehensive TMJ and sleep apnea treatment. We're proud to offer same-day imaging to get you on a path toward relief from your symptoms. Our non-surgical TMJ treatments will help you breathe, sleep, heal, and most importantly, live better. Call to make your appointment today.
Aaron Breen here. If you have Medicare, you already know that good health care starts with choosing the right Medicare plan. That's why I'm here at the Medicare store, where they offer free, unbiased, personal Medicare advice. So come by or visit themedicarestore.com.
Hablamos español.
Eden Home Health is Northern Nevada's highest rated home health for quality of patient care. You have a choice. Ask your doctor for the best in-home health care, Eden Home Health. And Eden Hospice. The personalized care team at Eden Hospice is dedicated to focusing on your loved one's quality of life during a difficult time. Eden Hospice's mission is to ensure dignity for every patient. Find out how Eden Hospice can help your family by calling 841-6123.
Hello, and come on in. So here we are, the beginning of a brand new year, and I know exactly what you expect me to be talking about. You think I'm just going to follow through with the tried and true of what everyone's thinking about every year on the precipice of a new year. You think I'm going to talk about how I'm going to make some changes this year. This is the year that I'm really going to lose 50 pounds. This is the year I'm going to work on my own personal projects at least 3 times a week. And this is the year I embrace myself, flaws and all. And serious, this is the year I eat nothing but raw celery and brown rice. Plot twist. This year, I'm just going to be realistic. And I'm going to accommodate life. I'm going to embrace reality. And reality isn't those oh-so-common resolutions everybody makes. This year, I embrace a world that has flaws. This year, I resolve to embrace the plot twists in life that none of us ever sees coming or ever has a chance to plan for, but that always demand immediate attention. It's a world that changes your path on a dime at its will. You know, things like being fired, which I'm gonna tell you Kai would never do to me, but that I'm also gonna admit it's caught me off guard more than once now. Or working around a broken computer, maybe having appliances that just stop working. There's always an unexpected illness headed our way and unexpected guests. It just seems that plot twists are unavoidable in life. Face it, the universe apparently doesn't have the same blueprint that I'm working from. I think flexibility has got to be the key. I just got to keep my goals in focus and realize that there are many more paths that will reach those goals, not just the one that I carefully thought out, planned, and actually wrote down. So embrace the plot twists in life because there's absolutely no way to avoid them. For Aging and Awesome, I'm Erin Breen.
Reconvene with Erin Breen is presented by the Medicare Store. The Medicare Store is local and gives free, unbiased, personal Medicare advice. Visit the Medicare Store today.
Life is story. Pages of amazing adventure and narrow escapes. Bold steps taken, races run, chapters on love and hard lessons and new beginnings. Your life, your legacy, our privilege to serve. Morningstar Senior Living.
Have we forgotten how difficult it is for older Nevadans to get to life-saving medical appointments? Have we forgotten how important connecting with others is? But what if you had neither? What would you do? The Nevada Rural Counties Retired Senior Volunteer Program provides zero-cost transportation and companionship for older Nevadans in rural counties. Make a difference in the life of a senior in your community. Become a driver and friend for RSVP.
I thought there was nothing people could do about scams until I found Better Business Bureau's Scam Tracker website. There, I learned about scams in my area.
I lost a lot of money.
And I shared my story, too. I was offered an online work-from-home job. I spent all this money on course training materials, but there was no job. So be careful.
Thanks for sharing that.
You're welcome. Better Business Bureau. Start with trust.
Welcome back to Aging and Awesome. You know, like many other conditions, older people are more likely to suffer from TMJ. And if you're clenching your jaw or you're grinding your teeth during your sleep, you may not even be aware that you have it. Joining us now is Dr. Tammy Neugebauer of TMJ and Sleep Therapy Center of Reno. She is the expert. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much.
Well, so first of all, what is TMJ? I mean, I know it's got a big long name, but it's problems with your jaw, right?
Correct, that's what it is. So TMJ usually happens to do with clicking and popping of your jaw. Sometimes people have a lot of pain associated with it. So what we want to do is find out why that's happening to people.
Yeah, and what causes it to happen? What are the causes of it? Is it something that develops over time?
Correct. So when you clench and grind your teeth, it causes breakdown of the jaw joint tissues. So it starts with inflammation. The inflammation starts to break down the jaw joint tissue. So typically happens at nighttime. We bite 5 times harder than we do during the daytime. And what happens is you wake up and you swallow. We swallow 25 times an hour. So you continue to injure that body part. And throughout a lifetime, that inflammation starts popping clicking sounds. And over time, the tissue between the jaw joint and the skull gets stuck out of position. Mm-hmm. And so over periods of time, people can actually get to the point where they can't open or they can't close their jaw. And sometimes it can actually affect the bone. So people who tend to have arthritis, it can actually cause arthritic changes of the jaw joint, which also can limit their ranges of motion. Oftentimes, TMJ symptoms can be confused as dizziness, ear problems, headaches, migraines. And what happens is when the jaw becomes dislocated, it translates to the back of the neck, the shoulders, and your lower back.
And it also can affect like your sinuses and your nasal passages. I mean, when you're trying to diagnose it, you have a lot of things to look at. What would
So actually, the reason why a jaw joint is most likely deteriorate happens to do with the nasal obstruction. So normal functional breathing should be through our nose and our nose only. If there's any limitations of breathing, then you have to breathe through your mouth. So that constant wear and tear on the jaw joints is a result of, and most likely, nasal obstruction.
So then what do you do for it?
So the number one thing we want to do is find out why it's happening to patients. So we do a very thorough evaluation that we take an x-ray of the head and neck so we can actually see the airway from the tip of the nose down their throat to see if there's any limitations of airway breathing. And then we look at the jaw joints. Is it inflammation? Is it arthritis? Is it dislocation? What is the true diagnosis with that? So when we find a diagnosis, then that allows us to come up with a treatment plan to rehabilitate the jaw joint and improve ranges of motion, patient's quality of life.
I mean, how successful are you? Is it to kind of turn things around for them once you figure it out?
Very, very successful. The longer it goes, the harder it is to fix. And the one thing people don't understand is the jaw is actually a healable joint when we treat the reason why it's deteriorating in the first place. It's different than any other joint in the body because it's there to eat, breathe, and speak. It's very important for survival. So people, when you have these issues and we treat the root cause, then the success of improving or resolving the symptoms is extremely high.
So if people do feel like they are having a problem or want to be assessed for it, how do they get a hold of you?
Our office is the TMJ Sleep Therapy Center of Reno. Our address is 9710 South McCarran Boulevard. Phone number is 775-786-3472, and we'd be happy to help them.
Good enough. Thank you so very
Thank
much,
you.
Dr. Tammy Nuggebauer. Thank you.
Closed captioning for Aging and Awesome is brought to you by...
At Reno Eye Institute, you'll get the attention you deserve from a doctor who cares.
I came in to see Dr. Freeman at Reno Eye Institute because I was able to get in and see him right away, and that was very important to me. From the moment I met Dr. Freeman, I felt that he really cared about me. He cared about my eyes and cared about me as a person.
At Reno Eye Institute, our focus is you.
Now accepting new patients. Call Reno Eye Institute today at 451-7268.
Hey, thanks for sticking with us here on Aging and Awesome. Joining us now is reverse mortgage expert Tom Mcdonald with Mutual of Omaha to share with us some new opportunities for people who could really benefit from a reverse mortgage. Tom, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Kai. Appreciate it.
I want to tell everybody at home, you've been doing this a while, right?
I have, since 2002, so we're coming up on 20 years.
Well, congratulations. 20 years. True or false question for you, for both you at home and for Tom. True or false? The bank gets your house when you do a reverse mortgage.
False.
Can't stump him. Why is that?
Well, it's some sort of a rumor. There's a lot of rumors or misconceptions going on about reverse mortgages, and that's one of the biggies. It's just a mortgage. Mm-hmm. You go through the same process. You apply for the mortgage, you get it approved, you get the appraisal, you finally get it sorted out and closed, and then you get the choice of how you take your money, whether it's cash up front or a line of credit. But it's just a mortgage. And so, sometimes I hear, Mabel says to Jane, gosh, don't do that reverse mortgage thing. The bank will have the house, you'll be kicked out. Just not true. On a regular mortgage, you make monthly mortgage payments. And so over time, usually 30 years, you pay it from whatever it is down to zero. On a reverse mortgage, you don't make monthly mortgage payments. You do keep up with your homeowner's insurance, property taxes, normal home maintenance. You get to mow the lawn and shovel the snow. It's your house. But not making monthly mortgage payments means that the balance is going to be growing over time. When the loan comes due, which is when you sell, move, pass away, that loan is going to be bigger than what you started with. And you just make one payment. Usually going to be either you sell the house, and just like any other mortgage, escrow will get a check from the buyer, and they'll pay you whatever's left over after the loan's paid off. So for the most part, many people that I work with already have an existing mortgage. And sometimes those mortgages are going to go well into their 90s. By not having a monthly mortgage payment, that frees up a lot of cash flow for them, and they can start enjoying life.
You've been doing this 20 years.
Right.
What's a success story? What's an anecdote you could share that our audience might be like, yeah, well, that's me. That would be good for my life.
We did the reverse mortgage. Her son was living somewhere in the deep south, and there's just no way she could have seen him, and he was dying. And so she was able to go back multiple times to see him before he died, and that was a big deal for her.
Because she had the money from her reverse mortgage.
Right.
So there's opportunities for people who might not have considered this as they age to enjoy life more and do things that they might not have been able to do otherwise. The big development now, Tom, is that people now at 55 can get a reverse mortgage.
You heard about that. That's brand new news. Now, the amount of money that they can get is going to be less than somebody, say, age 62, because they're younger, and the amount of money in a reverse mortgage is dependent on age, the home value, and current interest rates. Anybody, in my opinion, that's either 62 or over for the FHA version or 55 for the alternate should at least look into a reverse mortgage. Ask questions, find out. Make sure you understand how it works.
So Tom, how do people get a hold of you if they want to learn more?
Pretty easy. They're going to put a phone number on the screen. Write that down and give me a call. I'm the person you're going to be talking to. It's not an 800 number. It's not a big room with a dozen people around a bunch of tables. It's me. You're going to be talking to me.
Here in Reno. Thank you so much. Tom McDonald with Mutual of Omaha Reverse Mortgages. Appreciate you, Tom.
Thanks, Guy.
Eden Home Health is Northern Nevada's highest rated home health for quality of patient care. You have a choice. Ask your doctor for the best in-home health care, Eden Home Health. And Eden Hospice. The personalized care team at Eden Hospice is dedicated to focusing on your loved one's quality of life during a difficult time. Eden Hospice's mission is to ensure dignity for every patient. Find out how Eden Hospice can help your family by calling 841-6123. Living at Lakeside Manor, an independent senior living community in the heart of Reno, means pleasure for the residents and peace of mind for their families. Rooms are available now, starting at $15.80 a month. Take a tour of Lakeside Manor today. NV Legal Docs LLC, they are the Trust Masters, is a proud sponsor of Aging and Awesome, providing affordable wills, trusts, and estate planning document services. They are much different than your typical expensive law firm, offering flat fee pricing customized for each family. Having a trust is so important, and the NV Legal Docs team will explain at their no-cost, no-pressure seminar. Book your spot today and give them a call at 775-683-3100. Living trusts. Don't leave Earth without one.
If you're 64 or 65 and newly eligible for Medicare, you only have a few months to enroll, or you may incur a late enrollment penalty. By understanding Medicare now, you'll have time to get a full picture of the choices that are right for you. Join experts from Senior Care Plus for a free ABCs of Medicare seminar to learn about Medicare and the options available to you. Sign up at seniorcareplus.com or call 775-982-3158 today.
Howdy ho! It's off and away we go in Kai's cab on a stormy, chilly day here in South Reno. We are so thankful to have a special person aboard. Who's in the back today?
Pat Dorsey.
Pat Dorsey. Hi, how are you?
I'm doing great.
You were so kind to get in the cab today. Fearless, are you?
Oh, I am fearless.
A yes woman.
Yes.
You like to say yes to all things.
Well, not all things.
We won't go down that list of things she says no to, but we will be congratulating you if you win. Do you know the rules of this here game show?
Not really.
Okay, she was a yes, I'm ready to go, but she doesn't know the rules. We'll explain them, Pat. Get 3 out of 4 questions right today, Pat, and you are a winner of a fantastic prize, chocolate.
Well, it sounds good to me.
You know, I was going around asking people to do the cab, and sometimes people will say, if you pay my rent.
I just want the chocolate.
She just wants chocolate. What a sweetheart. I just want to give it to you.
Okay.
You gotta win, Pat. Here we go. Question number 1.
Okay.
What European country is divided into departments?
Czechoslovakia.
Czechoslovakia. Why is that your choice today?
It just came to me.
From above, Czechoslovakia. Is that your final answer, Pat?
Yes, it is.
Oh, unfortunately, it's France.
France?
France, divided up into departments. I didn't know that either.
Well, I did not.
You're allowed to get 1 wrong, Pat. You got to get the next 3 right, okay?
Uh-oh.
Here we go. Question number 2 for Pat. Jurassic or Triassic? Which period came first? 50-50 shot here.
I know.
Even easier than my old multiple choice format. 50-50, Jurassic or Triassic, which one came first?
I would say Triassic.
Triassic, is that your final answer?
Yes.
Yes, Pat!
All right.
Triassic came first. Good. Okay, you got one right, one wrong. 2 more. Let's go, all right?
Okay.
Gotta get them right. Question number 3. How many rings make up the Olympian game symbol?
5.
That was fast. Pat is correct. How'd you know that so fast?
I knew that one.
Doesn't even need multiple choice. You're just making this look easy. Good. 5. Yes, 5 rings. All right, Pat. 4th and final. Let's get it right.
Okay.
Which is the only American state to begin with the letter P?
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania. Yes. I was thinking these should have a timer to them. But you got it in like less than 5 seconds. So, Pat, congratulations. You're a winner today. Aren't you glad you said yes?
Yes, I am.
Well, you're so sweet. I love to ask everybody who gets in the cab, because they are brave souls to get in this here vehicle. If you had 15 seconds to tell the world anything, what would it be?
I would say that everybody should live with a positive attitude and live each day to the fullest.
Don't you love Pat, everybody? Pat, thank you so much for your words of wisdom, your love, and your smile. We appreciate you. You're welcome back anytime. Congrats.
Thank you.
Kai's Cab is presented by Senior Care Plus, the only Nevada-based not-for-profit Medicare Advantage plan serving Washoe County and Carson City. Senior Care Plus, for the healthiest reasons.
Coming up next week, we'll get back to Tom Young's story and a discovery and an honor that he's always hoped for but never really thought would happen. That's next Saturday at 7 p.m. on CBS in Northern Nevada.
Well, that's all the time we have for today, but before we go, we want to invite you to be a part of the show.
We are looking for your ideas and your feedback and your stories to help keep our mission of informing, enlightening, and inspiring older Nevadans and their families.
Okay, Breen, here's a couple examples. Maybe you at home are a son or daughter who is having challenges with your parents. Now, believe me, you're not alone. And we'd love to share your story in a tasteful and helpful way.
Or maybe you and a friend with different views have found some common ground on an issue.
Or how about this? You and your family are at odds with what the future looks like. Aging and Awesome wants to be an asset in helping you through those challenges.
There are so many ways to reach out to us. Now, you can go to our website, agingandawesome.com, and click on the Contact Us link, or you can email us at agingandawesome@gmail.com, or you can even call the number on your screen to leave us a voicemail.
And we want to take a moment to thank the renowned Senior Care Plus building for having us here on Del Monte Lane, all of you for joining us, and our community stakeholders who make this show possible.
The Trust Masters,
the Medicare Store,
the Better Business Bureau,
Eden Home Health and Eden Hospice,
the Nevada Rural Counties Senior Retired Volunteer Program,
Morningstar Senior Living of Sparks, Lakeside Manor,
Marsha Rambo with Realty One Group Eminence,
the Nevada Aging and Disability Services Division,
the Reno Eye Institute,
the TMJ and Sleep Therapy Center of Reno,
Reno Regenerative Medicine,
and Senior Care Plus.
See you next week. Bye.